Type A women don't just set goals, we collect them.
Oh, absolutely. One goal becomes 5, then 15, then a color-coded spreadsheet synced to every single app we own.
And still, half of those goals never make it off the page.
Because we often confuse ambition with capacity.
Today we're talking about goal stacking, that moment when a productive challenge turns into complete overload.
We're going to break down the brain science, the strategy, and how to use your Type A 90-day planner to figure out exactly how many goals you can chase at once without burning out or backing down.
Let's start with the uncomfortable truth. Type A women set too many goals because we are addicted to accomplishment.
Yep, hustlers equate progress with worth. Overplanners can't pick a starting point, and avoiders pile on vague someday goals so they don't actually have to commit to a scary one.
And underneath it all is fear. Fear that slowing down means falling behind.
But science actually says the opposite. When you chase too many targets, your brain's performance actually drops.
Research from cognitive psychologist John Sweller found that when working memory is overloaded, that's your brain's short-term task tracker, accuracy, creativity, and follow-through all decrease.
Most people can juggle only 3 to 5 meaningful goals before quality tanks. Once you add the 6th, the brain compensates by cutting corners.
So the reason you're not hitting every goal isn't lack of discipline. It's actually biology.
Back in 1932, psychologist Clark Hull discovered something called the goal gradient effect.
Translation, motivation peaks as we get closer to the finish line.
Which is why all marathoners run that last mile faster. And the shorter and clearer the finish line, the stronger your momentum. Too many goals, too many finish lines. Your motivation gets diluted across them all.
That's why focusing on fewer goals inside a 90-day window works so well. The brain can see the finish line, which triggers dopamine every time you make progress.
Harvard researchers actually proved this in 2011. The Progress Principle study showed that even small daily wins release dopamine and sustain motivation.
So goal overload doesn't make you more driven. It makes your brain too scattered to feel rewarded.
Now let's clarify. Goal stacking itself isn't bad.
Right. It's only bad when your goals compete instead of connect.
Aligned goals share resources, like grow email list and launch a new course. Those actually build on each other.
Conflicting goals fight for them, like train for a marathon and double business revenue. Both are great, but both demand top-tier energy and a lot of time.
James Clear really popularized habit stacking for micro behaviors. But stacking macro goals only works if they share a single outcome or system.
Otherwise, you're multitasking your identity. And multitasking, as Stanford University found in 2009, actually reduces productivity by up to 40% because your brain keeps reloading context. Let's be honest, Type A women have 2 modes, hyperdrive and shutdown.
We thrive on logic, but we crash from emotion.
We'll shrink our personalities to keep the peace and then wonder why our goals feel flat.
Because you can't pursue big goals while pretending to be small.
When you overstack goals, you're not being strategic. You're being scared. Scared to say no, scared to disappoint, scared to pick the wrong thing.
But focus isn't failure. Focus is force. This is where the Type A 90-day planner changes everything.
It's literally built around your brain's limits and your life's reality.
So step 1, pick 3 primary goals for the next 90 days. University research found that people who write specific goals are 42% more likely to achieve them.
Step 2, break them down into 12 weekly milestones. One clear deliverable per week keeps the goal gradient effect alive.
Step 3, use the daily spread for top 3 priorities. Your prefrontal cortex can only handle 3 to 5 active tasks at once.
Anything beyond those 3 is overflow. You can capture it, but don't commit to it.
Step 4, end each week with the reflect and refocus page. Ask yourself, what actually moved the needle? Then breathe, like literally breathe. 2 slow inhales and 1 longer exhale. It calms your nervous system and reopens executive function.
So the planner isn't about doing more, it's about doing less, but doing it better.
Here's the math that we live by. Capacity equals time times energy times focus.
If any variable hits 0, the whole equation collapses.
So before you add another goal, audit your capacity. Ask yourself, do I have the time, energy, and focus to do this well?
If not, it's not a goal, it's a fantasy. And fantasies drain fuel from the goals that could actually win.
Inside the 90-day planner, that's why we leave blank lines under deferred goals. You're not deleting them, you're just parking them until you have capacity.
That's just grace in a spreadsheet form. Let's talk about what goal overwhelm feels like.
Heart racing, tight chest, brain fog, irritability, classic cortisol spike.
And when cortisol floods your system, the prefrontal cortex, the logic center, goes offline. So when you say, I know what to do, but I can't seem to do it, that's physiology. It's not failure.
Breathing and meditation aren't woo-woo. They're actually recovery strategies. Deep diaphragmatic breathing increases vagal tone, restoring clarity.
That's why the planner prompts you to pause before your weekly review. It's not fluff, it's based in neuroscience.
Let's make this tangible.
We call it the 90-day capacity framework.
First, 3 macro goals per quarter, max, no exceptions. Second, 1 key action item per week. Third, top 3 tasks per day. And 4, 1 thing you can drop or delegate weekly.
The last one's my favorite because adding goals isn't strength, but releasing them is.
And here's the irony. You'll actually achieve more by chasing less. Because every single time you finish something, your brain craves another hit of accomplishment. And that's the dopamine loop.
So progress compounds, like interest.
Exactly. The 90-day planner keeps that loop running without the burnout.
Let's see how our type A personalities play this out.
Hustler stacks 10 goals, burns out by week 6, fix equals reduce to 3, and build weekly scorecards.
Overplanner. You spend your time the first 30 days color coding your strategy. Your fix is to pick 1 imperfect action to test in week 1.
The avoider. Wait until she feels ready. The fix equals schedule 1 micro win to rebuild confidence and break that paralysis.
Different strategies, same planner.
Because structure doesn't limit you, it liberates you from the chaos.
You don't earn your worth by juggling more.
You prove it by finishing what matters.
Goal stacking can be powerful when it's aligned, but dangerous when it's driven by guilt.
So this week, choose 3 goals you can love enough to complete. Let the rest wait.
And use your Type A 90-day planner to structure the work, measure the wins, and breathe between them.
And if you're not quite sure which Type A pattern you are, hustler, overplanner, or avoider, that's causing your overwhelm, take the Type A quiz.
Because clarity isn't calm by accident, it's planned.
Because consistency beats chaos every single time.